Here we go with the last video to my recall series. You can't have a recall without a leave it.
Break, leave it. Yes, get it.
All right, so let's take a look at this in slow motion. All right, so you can see I've thrown the toy out. I'm going to release Reggie to the toy. Just as he's about to get there, I'm going to cue my leave it. When he comes back, I've added motion by throwing a high value reward. I then turn, add more movement, and have him chase me back to the reward, which is what he actually wanted in the beginning. So this Leave It Extreme consists of reward stacking, plus we've included the Premack principle, which means we've released them to what they actually wanted in the beginning. So your dog learns that if they leave something, they will actually get something of higher value and still get to go back to the original reward. I have also posted a Leave It video in the description. Be sure to watch that if you need a refresher on teaching a Leave It from the beginning. But I do have a quick review in this video also. Here you can see Cynthia is demonstrating the first phase of a Leave It, which is just simply having the dog learn the behavior by putting a piece of food down, and if they go towards it, you simply cover it with your hand, and as soon as they make the choice to move away, they get the reward. Here's another way to work this so that they can start to generalize it in different contexts. So here you can see I have put some boring kibble down on the ground. Cynthia has some high value rewards. Hugo didn't realize that initially, but now he does. So he's making the choice to leave the food on the ground, or he's learning to make the choice to leave the food on the ground and turn back towards Cynthia to get the higher value reward. Hugo caught on to this, no problem. Now we're going to watch Simba work through the same type of exercises.
Good. Excellent.
This is a common thing that happens when we very first start this exercise, with the dogs just being very focused on the food we put on the floor. So I just asked Jody to take a step back and put some gentle pressure on the leash. Simba also caught on to this in no time. There is no verbal being used at this stage, as we only add the verbal once we know the dog knows the behavior. When your dog is reliably leaving the food on the chair or on the floor or in a variety of different situations, then you know that you're able to add your verbal cue, leave it. Here you'll see I've added the verbal cue of leave it with Reggie.
Leave it.
I have some boring dry food in the dish on the floor and some high value rewards in my hand. And then of course I do a bit of reward stacking by, when he does leave it, I throw the high value reward.
Leave it. Leave it.
All right, so one of the most important parts to teaching any behavior is generalizing it. So you want to make sure that you work it in different locations, that you use it with different things like food versus toys. We also want to change things up so that we're not providing the exact same picture. And then, of course, we're going to gradually add distractions. In a minute, you'll see me work through this with Reggie with a toy. Again, this is higher value for him, so you're going to see some mistakes and how I handle them. And then you're also going to see that sometimes I release them directly to the toy. Sometimes I reward in between. I'll just let you watch through it.
Break, leave it. Yes, get it. Oh, very nice. Break, get it. That's good boy. Break, leave it. Good try. That's a good try. Good try. Break, leave it. Yes. Good boy. Get it. Yes. Break, leave it. Break, leave it. Yes. Good boy.
Once you've done all kinds of training inside, under all different types of contexts, you can start moving things to the outside. Of course, like always, we want to build gradually. You may want to work these in your backyard with minimal distraction and then gradually build up to higher distracting areas. When outside, be sure to work on a long line if needed.
Reggie, leave it.
Good boy.
Leave it. Yes, good boy.
Sonny's deaf, in case you're wondering why he didn't respond to the leave it. He didn't hear a thing. So in this last clip, the one that I just played, Reggie was actually over there eating something, likely probably deer poop or something. But that was a great response for him to pull off of that and run back to me to get his reward. I then stopped the video without thinking, but then what I would do is say, okay, go. And then usually, because they came and got such a higher value reward from you, they just choose to stay right with you. But at least you gave them the opportunity to go back to the environment if they wanted to. Giving them the opportunity to go back to what it was they were doing before you cued the leave it is the key to guaranteeing an automatic response to your leave it cue. Well, I always say there's no guarantee, but it will definitely increase your odds dramatically. One last thing, be sure to make sure that you're getting a 100% success rate in the house before moving outside. Thanks for watching.